Hey guys, Eat That Pussy 444 here. Welcome back to another video. Sorry for not uploading recently. I've been doing shit. It's Christmas break and everything, and I'm not just sitting on my ass all day watching porn and jerking off. I haven't found any good shit to make videos on lately, so I've just been looking around YouTube looking for some dumb shit. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find anything on YouTube, so I'm just gonna do another commentary. Today's commentary slash story is gonna be about sneaking out. Depending on how old you are or how much of a pussy faggot you are. You may have snucken out before, you may have never snucken out before. Sneaking out is all fucking fun and games and shit until you get fucking caught by the police like I did. And no, we didn't get arrested or anything. I'm not gonna make a state penitentiary commentary. And this was the last time I snuck out, and this was, I think, last summer, yeah, summer 2018. Me and my friend Grayson were spending the night at my house, and that night we were going to go to my friend's neighborhood. My friend's neighborhood was, alright, so there's my neighborhood and there's my friend's neighborhood, and right between our two neighborhoods is a high school. And behind the high school is a practice field that we always ride our bikes through. And we have done it a few times before. Usually during the day we get yelled at by some fat ass fucking football coach or some shit like that. So on this particular night, when we were on our way there, we were on the street where you have to cross the street to get to the practice field, and we saw two cop cars go by. Both of them saw us, and we just rode our bikes back into our neighborhood, and it was way past fucking curfew. Our curfew where I live is 10 o'clock, so all minors or whatever have to be inside by 10 o'clock. And it happened to be 1 o'clock in the fucking morning, not in the afternoon, in the fucking morning. So me and my friends started to freak the fuck out. We didn't know what to do at all. We just rode our bikes around the neighborhood a little bit longer, and we kept on just seeing those cop cars just keep on going by and just circling around our neighborhood. And eventually we heard sirens, and I don't think they were after us because all we were doing was just riding our bikes around really late. I was also a little bit scared for them to pull us over because I had $10 in my pocket, and if they saw those $10, they may have thought I was buying a 10 sack or some shit like that. If you're like the fucking first grade or something and you don't know what a 10 sack is, it's just a $10 worth of weed. So we just kept on riding by, and eventually we made it back to my street. We were almost home, but then eventually a cop car turned into that street and they came towards us. And I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I'm a pretty smooth talker. So when the cop came up next to us, all he did was roll down the fucking window and he said, "Y'all boys get home and I'll walk all you niggas." And I just said, "Yes, sir." And me and my friend just rode our bikes home as fast as we fucking could. But then the cop turned his lights on and he thought he was about to pull into my driveway and have a 30-minute conversation with my dad about how fucking shitty of a dad he is for not knowing that we were out this late. But then he just made a U-turn and he just fucking turned on the siren too, and he went as fast as he fucking could. Like, I don't know what the fuck was going on. Like, this is the whitest neighborhood in our town. Like, nothing happens there. Right, so me and my friend just go back inside. We make a pledge to never sneak out again because we don't want that shit to happen again, because then he would probably actually do something if there wasn't an emergency going on at the time. But then the next morning we figured out why. He turned on his sirens and sped off as fast as he fucking could. So the next morning, well, it wasn't the next morning, I think it was the morning after the next. So that next morning, I looked at the newspaper, and some dude in like his fucking 40s or something was slinging fucking dope on a fucking BMX bike. Now, me and my friends were on bikes that night, but we didn't have shitty ass fucking BMX bikes. Like, we have sort of expensive bikes because every time I got a fucking Walmart bike, it would break in like a fucking week. So my guess is, I guess somebody called for a suspicious looking man on a bike really late at night, and I guess when they rolled by and they saw us, they might have thought it was us, and that's why they kept on circling around trying to find us. But then they realized, hey, these kids are like, what, 13 or 14? I mean, they're not selling crack. I think they were selling meth. I live in the South, and it's pretty much like the only two drugs you can get in our town are weed and like meth. So I guess when they realized we weren't the ones selling crack or meth or whatever, They just drove over to where the call was made, and that's where they found the dudes, and he got arrested, and I don't know what's going on with him now, but yeah, that was the last time we snuck out. Now, I have plenty of other stories of us sneaking out and just doing shit like this, but I probably don't have enough time. I only want to make this like an 8-minute video. I'll probably make like a part 2, maybe even a part 3 to this video, because like I said, I have lots of fucking stories of me and my friends doing shit like this late at night. But since I have like 2 minutes of gameplay left, I guess I can go ahead and do another story. Alright, so we have my friends Grayson and Landon over for the night. So the plan for tonight was to sneak out of my neighborhood, walk on a sort of a country road for like a quarter of a mile. It's not very long, and then we turn into this really nice neighborhood. It's just like one big ass circle of just houses and shit. And behind one of the houses is a forest, and behind this forest is a train track. And those train tracks lead to this bridge out in the fucking country. I've done this before, but I was by myself. I just rode my bike there. It was also in the middle of the fucking day when I rode my bike there by myself, so wasn't any hillbilly pedophiles out at that time. Alright, so everything was going really good and smooth until we were on the train track. We walked for a while, and usually we see a train go by around like 10 or 11. But it was like 12 already, and we hadn't seen a train go by, so we started to get worried. Okay, so when you first get onto the train track, there's this, hold on, there's a fucking moth in my room. Alright, I just got the moth. So as soon as you get onto the train tracks, there's these trashy fucking trailers and like crack houses and shit like that. And that was probably the worst part of the whole entire walk there. You'd have fucking pit bulls and loud ass fucking big dogs, big scary dogs barking at you. You didn't know where the fuck they were coming from. So you walk past all that shit for a while, and eventually you get to another road. It was just a road that you would cross, and after that, it was just like you're in the forest and you're on a train track and you're just walking on there for like, I don't know how long. It was pretty long. It's like 3 or 4 miles, unless you're fucking Dwayne the Rock fucking Johnson and you can run that fast. You can run that in like 2.5 seconds or some shit like that. It was a pretty long walk. So after you pass all the trailer trash, there'd be this road you cross. And when we crossed the road, we heard this big ass fucking boom. I'll leave this one on a cliffhanger. Yeah, thank y'all guys for watching. Please share. And, yeah, peace. I'ma fuck up my life.